All right, sit down. Let's get comfy and let's have a chat, man. So what I really wanted to kind of tell you guys, like, I know obviously, you see, on social media now, you see me, traveling around the world for the last 4 years. You see me kind of living a good lifestyle, but I want you to understand that A, it's not always like this. B, it wasn't easy to get here. And C, you only see the highlight reels on my social media. Obviously, it wasn't always like this. I never came from a family of money. I never come from a wealthy background where I had people who were smart with money around me. It was me, my mum, my dad, my brother in a 1-bedroom flat. I remember we was literally so broke, the ceiling was crumbling down. Like, we was at a point where, like, even eating McDonald's on your birthday was like a big thing. It was like, wow, that's like a 5-star restaurant to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't homeless. Like, we had a roof over our head, we had food in our stomachs. But obviously we couldn't really afford luxuries. It was in a 1-bedroom flat in Southeast London. My dad was working night shifts, so we never really had a lot of money. Obviously my mum was trying to look after us. And then, so since then, like, as a kid, I always see my family grinding. My dad was working 12-hour night shifts. My mum picked up a job as well. So I always see them grafting, doing their own thing. So that always kind of led me to grind as well and hustle. So where I guess the entrepreneur journey with me started, like, I always wanted to make money. I never had things. I could never get my parents to buy it for me. I had to go and earn it myself. I had to go and find a way. If I wanted, that new game for my Xbox, like, I had to buy the Xbox and I had to fucking get the game, right? So, like, going into school, I remember, probably when I was like 11 or 12, I was selling little things like sweets. I had a locker in school, obviously, where you store your clothes and stuff. And I remember, me and my friend, we went halves. I think we spent like £5 each, went to the shop and just bought loads of, like, Americans, you call it soda, we call it fizzy drinks, chocolate bars and sweets. And we were selling all these cups of drinks for like 80p. Bro, 1 cup of drink, and it was a 2-litre bottle. I think I was getting about, I couldn't tell you the exact numbers, but we was selling. I was also selling like sunglasses, headphones as well to the years above me, to to be honest, this kind of started from my brother, because my brother was selling like sunglasses. My brother was selling like headphones on the side, like he'd order them from China for like a couple quid, and then sell them for maybe like £20, right? So we'd make a good profit, paying like 3-4 quid for something and you're selling it for 20. Yeah, it's a good flip. So I remember was doing around that. And then obviously when I turned 6, so that was, I was probably like 13, 14 doing that. And then from there, this is when my parents then started to do their own business. So I was always helping out with them, always going out, always working night shifts with them. Like, even, there'll be sometimes, I'm 15, 16, going out at 10 p.m. at night, come back at 7 a.m. in the morning, as a 15-year-old. So I always had that entrepreneurial drive, always had that drive to go and make money. I then started getting my own job when I was 16. I was in Sainsbury's. I was working in Sainsbury's for a while until obviously I started trading and quit my job. But we'll get into that in a minute. Whilst I was at Sainsbury's, I remember I was buying and selling clothes. I had like this bot, and this bot there's a brand called Supreme, and this brand was like really, really hyped up. It would sell out instantly, and I had a bot which would check out instantly as well. It would beat all the people. So, I would buy stuff on there when I could afford it, and try obviously to resell and flip it. But I didn't have a lot of money management skills, so I'd just go and spend it on stupid shit. Didn't really reinvest the profits. Also Yeezys, like Kanye West shoes, Yeezys, I was selling tons of them. Like, I had bulk buyers from China come and fly over, and I say tons, like maybe like 5-10 pairs. For me at the time, that was a lot of money, making like, I remember I sold my first pair of Yeezys, I paid £200. Some kid come to my house, man come to my house and bought them off me for like, I think it was £1,000. So I made like 750 quid profit, something like that. And for me, that was like a massive eye opener, like, wow, that I can actually make money. Or, like a decent amount, right? And then from there, like, I remember we started getting on it, buying more of the Yeezys every drop. Again, we had a bot that could go through it, but I could only afford what I could afford, you know what I mean? I wasn't smart on money back then. Yeah, so I was doing that. I remember going to Supreme drops, like sometimes waking up at 4 in the morning, going all the way down to London. Like, I live just outside of London. Well, I say all the way down, like an hour and a half commute, all the tubes and stuff, getting through central London, and then queuing up from like 5, 6 a.m. to the store opens at 11, because we want to get those number 1 seats to get the good items. The thing is, I couldn't even afford items at that time when I was doing Supreme. This was before Yeezys. Like, I was buying like hats for like £20 and then selling them for £40. You know what I mean? And then anyway, yeah, I was working at Sainsbury's. I'll be honest with you, I was just kind of went down the wrong path at one point. Well, I say wrong path, probably not the most optimal path, but basically, like, I was kind of, I don't want to say too much into it now and obviously incriminate myself, but let's just say a street pharmacist. I remember doing things like that, and I remember it got to the point where, this is whilst I was working at Sainsbury's, I was also selling things like makeup. I remember we found a massive bag of, I forget the name of the brand of makeup, but it was quite expensive. A massive bag, and was going around selling that as well. Like, there was just so many ways I was trying to make money because I needed it. You know what I mean? Like, if I wanted a new pair of clothes, new pair of shoes, I had to go and buy it myself, you know? So I had to go and hustle and go and make it happen like that. Anyway, so when I was 16 now, I started working at Sainsbury's. I saved up maybe around like £2,000-3,000 at this point. I bought my first car. Obviously got my driver's license, and I was doing Ubers. Like, I wasn't even 18 at the time. So what I was doing, I was going on Snapchat. I was saying, look, who needs an Uber? I can drive you to that place. And I'd go, me and my friend would sit in my car, shout out Brandon, we'd drive to different places, like 1 hour, 2 hour journeys, people going to house parties. We'll be going, picking them up back and forth, because obviously 16, like 17, not a lot of people drive at that age. So I was quite lucky in that sense, because I was obviously saving up for my other hustles. And then, obviously I told you about the street pharmacy stuff, but when I was kind of doing that, I ended up getting arrested like 3 times in 2 weeks. And this is when I started finding out about the law of attraction and how you can actually manifest your life. So I was coming to understand about law of attraction and how my thoughts literally create my reality, right? Whether I'm aware of it or I'm not, they will literally cause people, places, circumstances, and events to come into my life. And I wasn't aware of that. I was aware of it, but I wasn't aware, and I wasn't conscious of my power to do that. So what was happening is, like, I was thinking about negative things that would happen. And I've noticed loads of negative things started happening, getting in fights, getting arrested 3 times in 2 weeks, getting held at knife point. But anyway, I remember I got arrested 3 times in 2 weeks. At this point, I'm sitting in my police cell, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, bro. Like, I need a sign. I need something from the universe to come and help me, bro, because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, bro. You know what I mean? I was tired of working my job. Bro, when I was at Sainsbury's, I wasn't sitting on a checkout. I was in the pissing cold down rain, pushing massive trolley carts, doing 30, 40, 50,000 steps a day, pushing trolleys in the car park. Like, and it was funny now, because this will get to the next part of the story, but this will make sense why I told you that in a second. So anyway, I'm sitting in my police cell, right? And I'm like, bro, I need a sign. I need something to come and help me. And I come out of the cell, it's like 5 in the morning. My phone rings, I turn it on. It's a guy called Tom. I mean, we don't really talk too much now. He's doing on his own path. But I shouted to him because he just called me and was like, bro, I found a way we can make money from our phone. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean make money from your phone? Like, I just got fucking arrested from doing that. And he was like, nah, bro, trust me, this is called Forex. I was like, Forex? Like, is that a drug? What are you talking about? And he was like, nah, bro, it's, you know, how banks make money. I'm like, bro, banks, like, I'm fucking up my exams here. I'm not smart in school. Like, bearing in mind, my teachers, like my head of year, 2 weeks before my final exams, she pulled me aside and said, Kieran, it's not even worth you taking your exams. Like, she literally said that to me, and I was like, fuck. I took them anyway. I mean, I got like E's, U's, I think I got 1 C in ICT. But yeah, I was never the smartest kid. Anyway, when I come out, right, he's telling me about this Forex thing. I'm like, brother, like, it's confusing. He was at uni in another city. So he comes down, because he's come back to see his parents anyway. He comes and starts showing me that bull markets, bear markets, baby pips. You know, I'm opening an account on Trading 212. Don't use that website, it's a load of shit. But I was on there, I think I deposited like £100 in the account. I had no idea what I was doing. No strategy, no risk management, nothing. I go on the Trading 212, deposit 100 quid. Again, I was making £400 a month at this point, right, from my job. So I thought, like, this was a lot of money. This was 25% of my net worth. Now, I placed a trade. I made like 50% on the account in like a minute. So I'm up £150. I'm like, bruv, what the fuck? Like, I'm going to be rich. This is insane. Place another trade. And then I just watched the account balance go from 150 all the way down to 0. Obviously, that's the typical journey that everyone goes through, right? Blowing an account. If you haven't blown an account yet, fucking hell, you're lucky. But yeah, so I blew that account. I was upset, bro. I'll be real. That was, you know, 25% of my net worth. All my hopes and dreams were just crushed right before me. Yeah, at that point, bro, this is like 25% of my net worth at the time. So I'm morbid, I'm distressed, but you know, I'm not a quitter. I ain't a little bitch. So I was like, you know, I have to make this work. So, you know, I'll start going through baby pips. Start going through the videos on there, watching a few videos online. Still didn't have a clue what I was doing. And then that was when actually one of my other friends now, he was called me up. I was like, he's one of my good friends. He was like, bro, like I'm going to a trading event. And I'm like, you're going to a trading event? Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, we went to this trading event and I was just mesmerized by the speakers. You know, like there was this lady there and she was just, you know, going crazy. And I was like, all right, man, this is sick. Like, I want to get started. She's like, who has a question? Hand right up. Yes. How do I join? How do I get started? It was actually a sales pitch. And I was selling what we call as IM Academy or IML. You've probably heard of it. Now, there's a lot of obviously talk about IML, but I want to tell you obviously my journey with them and what happened from an unbiased perspective because I'm not affiliated with them. So anyway, I joined. Now I'm like going to some of the events and I was going through some of the basic education, which was really, really helpful. You know, it taught me about trading view, you know, pips, lot sizes, like it was really good from the basic standpoint. Then turns out the woman who was supposed to be my mentor had no fucking clue about trading. I remember I asked her like, how do I create a demo account? And she's like, what's a demo account? And at that point I was like, fuck, like I just got scammed. Anyway, so I ended up fucking leaving. All the people in there stopped trading. But what happened now was I met someone called, and you guys might know, called Pips of Persia through an event there. Now he was like one of the speakers, one of the educators. And I remember like, you know, we didn't really know each other. I just said hello to him, that was it. I remember I see him just walking around central London one day. And then like we just said hello again. He's like, oh, you know, I remember your face, you know, type thing. And then anyway, like we connected on Instagram. And I just got to a point where I think I blew another trading account or maybe 2 or 3 more accounts. And then after that, that was when I remember I sent him like 3 or 4 voice notes. When I sent him these voice notes, bro, like I was upset. I was sit down. I was distraught. I felt like I was in a cage. I said to him, bro, like I felt like maybe one day I'll find it. If you want, let me know and I'll actually find it and post it. I remember I was like, bro, I feel like I'm in a cage. The people, because like when I got exposed to IML, even though yeah, it's a pyramid scheme, it was like the people were on a similar wavelength. They wanted to grow. They wanted to better themselves. Whereas where I was from, everyone was trying to tag you down. Everyone was going against you. You know, I was like quite vocal about how I was learning to trade. So a lot of people were like, I obviously wasn't telling everyone I'm a fucking professional, but I was like, look, I'm learning this and I'm gonna be a good trader. And what was happening, people would see me at work pushing trolleys, they'd come past, they'd laugh at me, they'd take the piss. All my friends around me would tell me I'm an idiot, I shouldn't be learning to trade. I remember I had a physical fight with my brother over trading because he told me it was a scam, I shouldn't be doing it. Obviously he's older than me, he beat the shit out of me. But fuck me, it sounds like I was getting abused. Trust me, I wasn't. But yeah, so like I remember people proper taking the piss out of me, like really just trying to, you know, just shit on me. And yeah, I remember I ended up meeting Pips of Persia. I went down to his office. You know, he was like, listen, I'm going to help you. I'll take you under my wing. Started learning from him. Started learning. I ended up meeting another connection through him where I basically flew out to Miami for a few days to learn from someone who was trading on Citibank's trading floor, like an actual institutional trader. Like none of these fucking ICT fucking fanboys. No, I'm talking a real person who's actually trading on the real trading floors. Anyway, I remember I flew out to Miami. I paid like £5,000 for a couple-day mentorship in person. And bro, like I was in debt. I spent all my life savings. I had to get a credit card to even afford to fucking go out there because obviously flights were expensive. I remember when I got there, I literally didn't have money for a taxi. I remember walking from Fort Lauderdale to somewhere in Miami. I forget the exact location now, but for 4 fucking hours, bro. I walked 4 hours. 4 hours. Didn't have enough money for an Uber. But some people, they're gonna say, oh man, I don't wanna watch a 30-minute YouTube video. Bro, I walked 4 hours for information. Some people don't wanna do an hour Zoom call. You know what I mean? Some people can't even sit on a screen for 1 hour in their nice warm house. I was walking through the streets of fucking Miami, bro, from homeless people, gangbangers, you know what I mean? Like, and I wanted that information, I was hungry. So I did whatever, by any means necessary to get access to that information. And then from there, that was when my trading really started to take off. You know, I got to a point where I got funded with FTMO, obviously got some payouts with them. And it got to a point where I was like, all right, like, I built my track record. Like, I've got 6 months of savings saved up. So let me quit my job, you know? So I remember I also dropped out of school as well. My mum hated when I did that. She fucking went crazy. Actually, when I say dropped out, like I told her I was gonna drop out. And she was like, no, don't do it. She went mad. And then like I just stopped going, to be honest with you. And it got to the point where once I quit my job and once she started seeing me travel a bit more, she realized, all right, cool, like he's good, you know. But yeah, I built up 6 months of expenses, and then I walked into my job, and I wasn't in my uniform. I put on I brought a nice wool coat, a turtleneck, and some smart clothes. You know, I walked in there, I thought I was the man. And then like my shift manager was like, Kieran, why are you not in uniform? You're late. And I was like, I had this scrunched up bit of paper. I ripped my resignation on there. I said, listen, I'm leaving. And they was like, no, you can't. Like, you got a shift now. You know, you've got, do you have to give in a 2-week notice? I said, listen, I don't care about a 2-week notice. I'm gone. Here's my paper. Goodbye. I walked out of that place with the biggest smile on my face. And man, that was when things started to change, because all these people were taking the piss out of me, saying, oh, you're never gonna make it, bro. It's a scam. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Bro, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I remember that people stopped talking now. Like, they stopped talking. They was always talking shit. Now they stopped talking. Like, one of my other mentors who's living in Austin, Texas, he invited me to come and live with him and bring, like, really shadow work him and go crazy like that. So I was like, oh, fuck me, this is a crazy opportunity. And it was 4/20, right? 2020. It was 4/20. And I remember I had my flight booked. I had my ESTA done to America, one-way flight. I had my suitcase packed. I woke up in the morning, I checked my emails. ESTA's been revoked. My visa was taken away because of COVID. So I couldn't go. I was like, fuck, man, that's crazy. But everything happens for a reason, right? Oh man, I'm getting pins and needles here. Fuck, I was distraught. You know, I told him I can't come. I was so upset. Obviously still trying to learn through Zoom and that, but you know, Zoom's still great, don't get me wrong. But obviously in person is where it's at. Anyway, this is when now I was living with, well, this one I had like 3 business partners now who are girls. Shout out Alice if you're watching, Christina and Marcella, shout out you guys. And they was like, look, we're going to Bali. We're getting a one-way flight and we're moving to Bali, because they was doing well at the time. So they was like, all right, we're moving to Bali, do you want to come with? And I was like, I don't know about moving, but listen, like, obviously we're business partners, so I'll come out there. I'll obviously come out there for a month, and you know, obviously help you guys, and then you know I'll just go home. Now me and Alice meet up at the airport, and had the lounge booked, everything. I get to the place and she's like, sir, can I see your visa? Because this is COVID times. I'm not even supposed to be leaving the country, right? All travel was blocked, everything was closed, you know. And then there was like, sir, you got the wrong visa. Because what I did is I tried to do a cheap way, right? And this is a key lesson, because Alice did the proper visa and it was a little bit more expensive. I did the cheap visa because I was trying to do it the cheap way and save loads of money. It was like, hers was like, I think like £600, mine was like 20 quid, right? Red flags, right? When you buy cheap, you buy twice. So I fucking brought this cheap one. And the fucking cheap visa didn't even work. It was the wrong visa. It's for a visa when you're already in the country to extend, and not new person coming in. So they didn't let me fly. I was distraught. I did the expensive visa. I finally flew out a week later, got there, met one of my best friends and good big brothers, and even one of my mentors. It wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't even still be traveling in Asia, to be honest with you. But shout out Azza. Out there, and it got to a point after 3 weeks, I was like, you know what, I don't want to go home. I'll extend my stay. I'm going to stay out here for another month. And I just kept extending, ended up meeting my girlfriend, who's right here. Obviously, you've seen her in the vlog earlier. You can say hello quickly. I know she's shy. And then like, it was at a point where we didn't really know what we was doing. I was just, you know, out there. She wasn't even my girlfriend at the time. We were just seeing each other. I was seeing each other every day. And I was just extending my trip. And that happened for about 1.5 years. And then this is when things kind of took a turn for the worst, because this is when I got set up, I got arrested, and I was facing 5 years in prison. I haven't spoken too much about this publicly, but I'm going to speak about it today. So, because I really wanted a joint, right? I'll be honest with you. And my guy who's normally getting it from me was like, no, I can't get it. And I was like, all right. And I asked some other kid, and he was like, yeah, bro, I got this number off this guy off the street. Red flag. But obviously wasn't thinking, being impulsive, which was stupid. But you know, we live and we learn. Anyway, I get a number of him, and then like, I tried to buy some, and he's being really sketchy. He's like, all right, you have to meet me, you have to give me the cash, and I'll come back and give it to you later. I'm like, a bit off. But anyway, it was like a too good to be true price as well. It was too cheap. Again, when you buy cheap, you buy twice. But anyway, long story short, bro, I got set up. You know, he comes and gives it to me. But somehow, like, I met him down the street and he somehow knew where I lived. This would have got a bit weird. So anyway, he gives it to me, and it was supposed to be more than what it was, right? He only gave me a little bit. And he was like, do you want your money back or I can get the rest? I was like, well, get the rest, because it was for me and someone else. Like, just a friend was just splitting it. I'm not a fucking dealer or anything. But anyway, fucking, I get it. I go in my room with my girl, start rolling up, come out my room. There's fucking like 15, 20 people, like fully grown men. I know, obviously Indonesian men in my house going crazy. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm not wearing police clothes, right? So I'm like, bro, like, what are these gangsters? They're trying to rob me. Like, you know what I mean? They're trying to grab me up and that. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, long story short, like, they take me back to the police station, and then they throw me in this fucking holding cell, bro. Like, the cell was literally the size of this pool area here, right? Literally. And there was about 15 men, roughly. I couldn't tell you the exact number now, I forget. There's people in and out in this room. And I walk in there now, I'm like, fuck. You know, I'm in a Southeast Asian prison, bro. There's no flooring, there's no toilet, bro. It's hard tile floor, hot, no AC, no windows, hot, sticky room, bro. And there's no fucking toilet. You have to shit in a hole in the floor in the corner, bro. Everyone looked at you when you took a shit. Like, it was not fun. You had to shower with a fucking bucket, bro. Like, anyway, I'm in this room now and I'm thinking, like, fuck, bro, like, these lot gonna try and, bro, you see the stories, you know what I mean? And then, like, are they gonna try and rape me? Are they gonna try and rob me? You know, obviously, foreign boy in a prison, you know what I mean? Turns out one of the Indonesians spoke English. I think he actually got sent to big boy prison, to be honest. But that's his heart. I did give him my email, so if you are watching this, bro, hit me up, mate. But he was a good guy, man. But he actually come over, he started speaking to me in English, and then yeah, basically, like, found out everyone else in that room got set up as well. So that kind of, like, and obviously now, like, I had to spend the night. So everyone's sleeping on the floor, like a bunch of sardines. You got a foot in your face, bro. You got an arse next to your face, bro. Like, it's not nice, bro. I remember my girl, well, she was my girlfriend. She was a girl I was seeing at the time for a few months. And then she was like, I'll see you in the morning. Like, and I'm thinking, she set me up, bro. You know what I mean? I only knew her a few months. I got set up. And, you know, she's like, I'll be there at 9 in the morning. I'm like, bet. I wake up at 6 a.m. Didn't know what time it was. I tried to ask the guard what the time is. The Indonesian guy asked him. And it's like 9 o'clock. I'm like, cool, she should be at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Still no signs. Now I'm like, fuck, bro, like, what's going on? I thought she'd just robbed me. You know, she had my car, she had my house keys, my wallet, my passport, everything, bro. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, and then from there, bro, she actually flew in. She barely even knew me, bro. We knew each other like 3 months. And then she flew in a lawyer from the capital, right? Come in, same night flight, bro. I got arrested like midnight, right? Same night flight, flew him in. He comes over and, like, they're sitting and talking to the police officer. He's like, look, talking to me. He's like, yeah, he literally said, you've got 5 years in prison. There's no avoiding it. And sent me back to the cell. Bro, I fucking cried, mate. I went up, like, everyone's trying to talk to me. Like, it was kind of funny, actually, because everyone come up and was like, hey! I was like, why is everyone cheering for me? They obviously thought foreigner, like, maybe, I don't know, he's probably get out. But I'll tell you this story in a minute. So I go into the corner, I'm stressing out, I start crying, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I thought I had 5 years, bro. I thought my whole life was fucking over. I'm talking to some of the people again. Now, it turns out that you can pay to get out, right? So they were saying that, I was like, oh, okay, you know, these lot are paying like maybe £5,000, £10,000. Next day comes, the lawyer's now talking, he's like, look, we can get you out, basically. Like, you've got to pay. And I'm like, all right, how much? He went $500,000 fucking dollars, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? No. You know what I mean? Like, these men telling $2 grand, $5 grand, $500,000 for me because I'm white, bro. Fucking racist. Just because I'm white. Anyway, I'm like, no. Anyway, I'm in there for a whole week, right? And after a whole week, I have to pay so many more fees, bro. I'm paying fucking lawyer fees every day. I'm paying fees, yeah, to entertain the fucking bribery. So corrupt. Anyway, got it down to about 100,000 US dollars. And at this point, bro, I'm in there for a week, bro. Like, I barely slept, I barely showered, bro. Like, I barely eaten, because the food, bro, they give like 10, 15 man, they're giving like one plate. You know what I mean? Luckily, my girl was trying to cook for me and bring me stuff, but I was just emotional, bro. I thought my life was over. I was in there for about a week, and finally got it down to 100K US. I could have got it cheaper if I stuck it out, and this just shows the power of emotions, because emotions do cloud your judgment. You know, like, I could have got it lower, but I was so emotional, I wanted to get out. And then from there, bro, basically I just wired them. Well, I had to access my funds. My funds are in England, so bro, it was so stressful, mate. But long story short, I ended up sending them the money, but now the money's delayed because my bank's blocking it. Like, why are you trying to send this much money? What's going on? I had to tell my bank, bro, I'm buying land out here, bro. I got fucking set up, bro. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, and now the money's delayed. So I'm in there longer because the money's delayed because it's such a big amount. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then that transfer app I'm using takes a couple days to process. I'm like, fuck, like, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just stressing. I remember when the chief of police found out I was paying, bro, he's trying to smile with me, trying to laugh at me, trying to put his arm around me. I'm like, get off me, you. You know what I mean, bro? You just fucking rinse me. Anyway, we get out. Yeah, I got out of there, and yeah, I was just emotional, bro. I went to the capital. I stayed with my girlfriend for a bit, and I just left the country. I wanted to get her a visa sorted, and then I actually made her my girlfriend at this point because how much she helped me, you know. In terms of finding a lawyer there, being there for me, I barely even knew her, you know what I mean, bro? She could have fucking finessed all my shit. But yeah, we went back to the capital, and then got a visa for London, and she come back to London with me, and then was in London. I was depressed for this round. I was so depressed. I wasn't trading. I wasn't doing fuck all, bro. I got fat. I was so depressed. I just got rinsed, you know what I mean? From there, I had booked a one-way flight to Thailand, and that was almost 2 years ago now. I've been in Thailand ever since. Yeah, like obviously I know I sat down and wanted to kind of talk to you guys about my story, but the reason I said all that was because I wanted to know that it's not always sunshine and rainbow. You know, there's even still times now where, you know, I even have self-doubt. There's even times where I even get depressed, even get anxiety, and I'm living a quote unquote good life in the humblest of ways. So the lesson from all of these is basically like, in life, your emotions control you, right? I think that we think we control our lives, but in reality, it's our emotions that control our lives. And a lot of the time, we can be too blind to know when our emotions are controlling us. It's like when you trade. You know, have you ever, broken your rules and you're like, why did I break my rules? It's because your emotions are controlling you. You know, a lot of the time, it's our emotions that get us into trouble. So learning self-awareness for me to be more self-aware when those emotions are present, and then learning how to self-regulate and manage those emotions. So I'm not going into those impulsive decisions. I'm not making these fast, stupid decisions, taking a trade too quick, getting in trouble in life, That was what was able to really help me get to a point where I've been traveling Asia now for 4 years. I've been out of a job and, just living the life I wanted to. And it's all possible because I got access to the right information. I'm always investing into courses, always trying to learn, always trying to grow my mind, because I think that the superpower of this age is information. We're in an age of information, right? We've got these devices in our phone that can access everything, but how often do you use it? Bro, I Google search 100 million things every single day, literally. Most basic things, because I like to learn, and I found that learning, right, pain plus reflection equals progress. Having a painful experience, sitting back and reflecting on that is how you can grow and get better. Same thing in trading. You lose a trade, go back and journal that trade, learn from it, move on. Even in life, man, obviously there's two ways you can learn: first-hand experience and second-hand experience. Obviously a lot of people were telling me, don't do this, don't do that in Bali, all these other things that happened to me. Don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. But I didn't listen. I was being ignorant. And sometimes, even to this day, so I guess I can be like that sometimes, but I'm aware of it. So I'm trying to work on it, and that's all we can do. There's no point getting caught up that, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not at that certain level yet. I haven't unlocked certain skills, but just focus on what you can control. We can't control when those breakthroughs happen. We can only control what we do about it and how much effort and consistency we put forth. And that's all I try to do. I just try to control everything I have power over, and everything I don't have control on, I just let go. And I think that was actually one thing that happened to me in that Bali story I was telling you about, because I remember it got to one point, had like almost like a spiritual awakening where I just accepted everything. I accepted a 5-year prison sentence in terms of like, I'm gone for 5 years. You know, I came to agreement with that with myself, and I became at peace with it. And I think that being able to come to the present moment and be at peace with yourself, because no matter what the outside circumstance is, you're always you. You always have your place. You always have your peace, and you always have your mindset, and you're always in control of your thoughts. So realizing that helped me kind of get through it, and obviously helped me get to where I am today. Obviously, these were little things that I was looking at before, but you know, sometimes you have to go through experiences to help you get there. But yeah, man, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I know, or I hope that I can help someone. You know, maybe they're going through a struggle in their trading. Maybe, you know, they don't see light at the end of the tunnel, but I promise you there is. If you keep sticking and learning, and you keep sitting down and focusing and grinding every single day, you will eventually get there if you have the right information. Because practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So, you know, if you're just going through something right now, just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. What you need to do is do a few things. Identify the problems in your life that are holding you back. Accept those problems and accept responsibility of them. And then finally, transcend them. You can transcend them by using the universal laws. You know, people ask me, why do I have a tree on my hand? There's an artist called XXXTentacion. I don't know if you've heard of him, maybe you haven't, but he was on a live stream once and he was talking about these laws of the universe. Like I was talking about earlier, the law of attraction, how you can manifest people, places, circumstances, and events, all through the power of your thoughts. And I know it sounds a bit woo-woo, spiritual, washy-washy, but try it, right? Go and research the 12 laws of the universe. Go and spend time studying them and actually apply it to your life, and watch how fast your life changes. Everything I have in my life now, from my cars, my house, my girl, the places I visit and travel, I all had this on my vision board in my room at my mum's house. You know, I envisioned this in my life, and I'm now living what I once envisioned, all because I got access to the right information. And one of those pieces of information you need is the 12 laws of the universe. So I encourage every single one of you watching this to obviously leave a like, comment, subscribe. But, you know, go down to the comment sections and let me know one thing you liked and learned from the laws of the universe. I'd love to hear your experiences with it. If you've ever experienced law of attraction in your life, or if you're new to it, research it, study it, and try to apply it. Because it completely transformed my life, man. From the mentors I've attracted, to the places I've been able to visit, to the things that have happened to me, whether it's good or bad. But yeah, so with that being said, guys, I'm gonna call it a day now. I've been yapping for a minute. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you're new here, comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.